What if I told you there's actually a website where people pay you just to chat with them online? This doesn't involve selling anything, no surveys, and no complicated tasks. In fact, some users report earning up to about $50 daily by doing this, just having conversations with real people like you and I around the globe. In this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how this website works. I'm going to show you guys how to create your profile. I'm also going to show you guys how to increase your chances of getting your first client. But then before we get started, I want you all to remember that your earnings depend on your profile, the availability of people, clients' demand, and then most importantly, the time you spend chatting and including your location as well. These are factors that could actually determine how much you earn on this platform, right? So basically the name of this website we're going to be looking at is Rent a Cyber Friend. So Rent a Cyber Friend is a lovely and legit website that actually pays people for having conversations with other people around the globe. Now, all you have to do is to head to the site rentacyberfriend.com. And once you're here on the website, you can see find or become a cyber friend. You're basically becoming a cyber friend. You want to start chatting with people, having different conversations, depending on whatever interest you or you're best good in. And then from there, people actually pay you per minute or per hour, depending on the rates you set. Okay, so you have it here, a human connection marketplace, get paid to present or connect instantly for real conversations, right? And if I scroll down here, you can see and by being human. Obviously, you don't want to, make this overcomplicated. You just need to be real, be yourself, and chat with people. That's why in your profile, while you're setting your profile, you're gonna put something you're interested in. So you yourself will be very free. You'll be human enough to talk about that thing with the person. Okay. So if I scroll down here, you can see people share their time and experience while others connect instantly through secure pay per minute live video. So it depends on the one you want. You can actually do a live call that is instant live call. People reach out to you, or you can actually become a cyber friend where people actually pay you, depending on the interest you made mention of, either per minute or per hour. Okay, so if I scroll down here, you can see we have two parts, one marketplace. Join as a cyber friend to earn money or connect as a caller for immediate human connection. Just like I made mention of, these are two scenarios. You can start as a caller over here, or real reason to call, or basically becoming a cyber friend, which we're mostly interested in for today's live video. Right. So if you scroll down more, you can see a whole lot of assigning. You can see Wall Street over here, Hollywood, and several other platforms that has actually mentioned Rent a Cyber Friend. Okay, this is actually a legit and trusted website. Okay. Now, all you have to do for you to finally become a cyber friend, I made mention of the idea, which is you chatting with people around the globe, and then they pay you per hour or per minute. Okay, based on that interest you mentioned. All you have to do is to come here and click on become a cyber friend. Okay, so once you click on become a cyber friend, it's going to take you to the page where you can learn more about how it works. All you need to know about becoming a cyber friend. So we have it here, become a cyber friend, sign up easily, register today and start sharing your perspective. Get paid for your time through live video calls with a simple sign up process. Okay, so for you to just get started, you just have to click on become a cyber friend here. Okay, so if I scroll down, you can see create your account. You can use Google, normal Google, or you can use Apple account, or you can just sign up with your email. Okay, depending on the one you prefer. I always prefer using Google because it automatically syncs on my information to save time and to make my sign up process faster. Okay, so if you scroll down again, you can see how it works, just an insight. We have register now and from anywhere. We have the simple setup, complete your registration and start connecting with people, flexible earning. You control your per minute rate, okay? You get paid per minute depending on how much you want to charge, okay? I always recommend $0.5 per minute. That's what I always do as on my own account, okay? And I have a whole lot of friends doing this. I met some of them on TikTok, I met some of them on several other platforms like that. But this is actually a very legit platform. A whole lot of people are using to get paid just by chatting. And then we have instant access, accept video calls and earn money today. So yeah, let's get right into it. all you have to do is to just come here. So I'm going to use Google. Okay, this is just a tutorial account. Okay, so I'm going to click on sign up with Google. This is exactly how you want to go about it. You head to the site, you click on sign up, depending on how you want to, sign up, either with Google, email, or, Apple account. Okay, so once I click on sign up, I use my Google account here, my tutorial Google account, and then you just want to click on continue. Now, once you click on continue, you're going to see it's going to be updated. Now you're going to be taken to your dashboard. So this is basically the dashboard here, Rent a Cyber Friend dashboard. And if you look at this platform, compared to several other platforms out there, where people actually get paid for chatting, I love this platform a whole lot because in terms of the payment method, because this is something a whole lot of people, especially in my country, complain about. When they talk about, oh, when it's time to receive their money, they don't have that methods that work well in their country. In this particular payment method, we have withdrawal by bank transfer, we have withdrawal by PayPal, we have withdrawal by several methods that would actually suit you depending on whatever country you're actually doing this from. So this is a dashboard, and all you have to do is to just complete your profile. So you want to come here to edit profile. You want to click on edit profile. This is the first thing you want to do after signing up. When you sign up, when you come here to edit profile, you want to scroll down. Now you start with your picture. You can see, tap you're going to click on this photo over here, and then you need to upload your image. Obviously, if you want to get paid for chatting with people, you need to show yourself. This is not means where you hide your face. People need to see who they're chatting with. Okay, so all you have to do is to click on this photo icon over here, and then you add your own image. All right. Now you can see face clearly. It needs to be very visible. Your face needs to be clear, ensure it's only you in the photo, and then you need to look friendly and appropriate. All right, you don't need to look too serious. We're talking about becoming a friend here. Obviously, the first thing people are going to look at before they say, oh, they want to be your friend, is how friendly you look, your first look, your profile. These are key things in, key factors before someone selects you as a cyber friend. Okay, so all you have to do is to click on this photo over here. For example, I have my own picture. Let me just select a random picture. Okay, so let's go for let me go to downloads. I think I have some random pictures I can actually select from here. Okay, so you want to do the same thing, just look for a picture. So let's say I'm going to go for this picture, for example, right? So after adding the picture, the next thing you want to do is to scroll down. So you can see this is where you're going to insert your first name and also your last name is spelled. All right, so you want to confirm it's correct. And then your country, where are you from? For example, I'm in Nigeria, so I'm going to look for Nigeria. You want to select your own country. Okay, so this is Nigeria over here, for example. And then we have state and city. So you want to insert your state in Nigeria, for example, and Lagos, for example, and then your city as well. You want to insert your city. Let's say I want to put Ikeja, for example. It all depends on where you're from. It's just your address, your location. And then most importantly, introduce yourself. This is one of the key things that allows people to select you, because yeah, after you set up your profile and you want to become a cyber friend, those people looking for friends or looking for cyber friends come to the platform. They search for friends based on their interests. For example, someone comes to the platform, rent a cyber friend, and you're most interested in someone that is into tech or digital skills like me, something like that. They're going to type it in as the filter. They're going to filter everyone, putting in maybe their location as well. They want someone in the United States or they want someone in Nigeria. Once they filter it, Rent a Cyber Friend is going to show them several platforms of different cyber friends. And one of the first things they're going to see is your introduction, about yourself. They're going to see your picture and they're going to see about yourself. So how you display your about yourself is a very huge factor in people selecting you. So ensure that you give it a whole lot of thought. You give it your best when you're introducing yourself. You want to start by saying hi. For example, I can say hello. My name is Kisinton. And then you can continue by saying I am, um, really, I'm really a friendly person. It all depends. Okay, you just want to ensure you're putting in that best. Say I am really um interested in talking about For example, let's say I want to be a friend that can motivate other people or make people feel better. I'm really interested in talking about self-improvement, you know, and then I can be like, I can say something like, if you need someone to okay, pour out your, let's say your worries. For example, I am, okay, so I can say, I am here to help help you become better and guide you throughout your journey on achieving whatever you want in life. Okay, this is just an example. This is just an example. Depending on whatever you want to, chat with people about. And if you're the type that don't know how to go about it, feel free to use artificial intelligence. We have a whole lot of generative AI now you can use to ask. Just tell them what type of friend you want to be, and then they can compose something for you. Just feel free to adjust it based on, just to make you feel more humanized. Okay. Now, once you're done with the about you, all you have to do is to scroll down again. Okay, so scroll down. Okay, so you want to scroll down, and when you scroll down, you can see the gender. You also need to select your gender, and then male or female, depending. So male, obviously. Then you want to insert your date of birth. So for example, this is just a tutorial. I already have my own main account. This is just a tutorial for you guys. So let's say we're born in 2000, for example. So you want to insert that 2000 over here. Okay. So once you insert the 2000, the next thing you want to do is to scroll down. Okay, so what can people talk to you about? This is where you're going to select a category. You've done the introduction as well, talk about yourself and all those things, but try to optimize either both the introduction and then the category as well, so that people really understand what they would get from you. Focus more on the value. Focus more on the value rather than just talking about yourself. Focus more on what they're going to benefit, right? That's what actually attracts people. What are they going to benefit? Right? If it's gonna be, oh, you're gonna make them feel better, you're gonna, help them achieve their goals, all those type of things. Focus more on the value when you're introducing yourself. Okay. Now we have the category here, so you can see we have general discussion. I'm not really a fan of general discussion because when you say the general discussion is not really specific. And when you're talking about a platform like this, people like to find someone that is more specific on certain things they want, right? So I wouldn't advise general discussion. I'd rather go for something more specific. For example, based on my own friendly settings, I'd rather go for self improvement over here. Meaning that whoever wants to book me should be someone that wants to, focus on improving themselves. They need motivations, they need guidance in achieving whatever they want, all right? So I'm going to go for self improvement. And then the next thing over here you can see is price per minute. How much do you want to charge per minute? Just like what I mentioned from the start of this uh video. Okay, so how much do you want to charge? I always go for 0.5, and I would recommend this especially for beginners. Okay, but it all depends if you want to go lower or if you want to go higher. It all depends. So this is $0.5 USD dollar, that's United States dollar per minute. I'm okay with this, right? And then optional tax. So this is more of, when you talk about tags are more like what directs or gives the specific keywords in your profile. So, like I made mention of the fact that I'm focusing on self improvement. Whatever you're focusing on, tags are just like an addition. In case someone comes to the platform, someone that's looking for a cyber friend, and they type something like go, or they type something, a keyword, depending on your tags, if your tags matches with that as well, it can actually help you. Okay. So I'm going to just put mindset over here, based on the suggestion. You can see that Rent a Cyber Friend is suggesting for me based on the category I selected. So depending on this category you select as well, Rent a Cyber Friend can actually suggest for you. And you can as well think of something else. I can just say live. It all depends on you. I can say goals, but then you can see the maximum is three tags over here. Letters only, max three tags, max 20 characters each. All right, so now once you've set your rate per minute and you've set the optional tags, if you scroll down, the next thing here is the languages you speak. All right. So what language do you speak? So at least one language is required. So I'm gonna go for English. You can see I speak English. Okay, so that's fine. And if you want to add more languages, let's say you speak more than just English, you speak German, for example, like me, I can actually speak German. So you can see I've said German. Then you can set how good you are. I'm not really a native, so I can just go for basic English. Well, I'm really good in terms of English. So, this is just language. Feel free to add as many languages that you know that yes, you can speak. Now, let me bring this in again. Remember that yes, a whole lot of users, some users, they report that they earn up to $50. It all depends, daily. But then remember that it depends on several factors. Your earnings vary, depends on several factors. Availability, location, are people there, clients demand, are people really demanding what you say you're interested in talking about, your location, spending time, how long do you stay on the platform? There are a whole lot of factors that come in play. Yes, you can earn that amount up to that amount, but then it all depends. Okay, it depends on all these factors. Okay, it's not guaranteed. So if I scroll down again, you can see now we're done with all the setup. Then on the right hand side, you can see a preview. You can see how you appear. This is a preview of, based on all the settings already, your photo is going to be there. You can see this is the introduction you put. This is what someone is going to see. Hello, my name is Ketintin. I'm really interested in talking about self-improvement. If you need someone to pour out your worries, I'm here to help you become better and guide you throughout your journey on achieving whatever you want in life. Already if you read this and, you come to the platform, you would want to talk to me. You want to put in that value. You want them to see the value of what they're going to get if they're going to chat with you. So focus on the value, especially in your introduction, right? Because there are a whole lot of people, a whole lot of cyber friends. But for you to stand out, focus on the value you're going to render. And then you can see the category here, self-improvement. My location is also there. And then once you're finally done, all you have to do is to click on submit for quick auto review. So Rent a Cyber Friend is going to review all what you said, and then depending on if they like your settings, they like all your profile and all those things, once they're okay with it and you get approved, then you can start chatting to get paid. And then if you notice, after setting this up, you can see at the right hand side we have fast track approval, but then you have to pay a certain amount, but it's not compulsory. This is if you want your approval to be faster, but for me, I'm just going to leave it like that. So you can see get approved in 10 minutes. Skip the 4 to 7 days wait with priority review. Okay, so if you want to skip the amount of days they're going to take before they review your account, then obviously you want to pay, but that's your choice. It all depends on you. So you can see the profile over here. You can see everything. Remember, this is just a tutorial account. This is not my real account. Okay, and then let's scout through the platform more. So this is how to go about it. Step one, you head to the site, Rent a Cyber Friend. Step two, you sign up either using your Google account, your Apple account, or a normal email. Once you're done with that, all you have to do next is to fill in your profile. Do not forget that your introduction, your picture, these are key factors before someone actually selects you. Based on my own strategy, I always focus more on the value I can render. You need to catch their attention as quick as possible. They don't have time to be reading stories. Okay, there are a whole lot of renters, cyber friends there. So for you to stand out, give that hook, give that value immediately in introduction. You select your interest and all. Once you're done, completing your profile, then you go for auto review so they can actually review it. If you want a fast reviewer, then a fast review, sorry, then you might have to pay this certain amount. But if you're okay with the 4 to 7 days, feel free to leave it till they review. And once you're finally done, you're basically done setting up your profile. Now, on the left hand side, you can see we have, this is basically how you're going to see it on your dashboard. Call and earnings, text earnings, blocked callers. Let's say you block people, tips from clients. Let's say they tip you some money or whatever it might be. You can as well see it over here. And then you can see your photo gallery. This is more of you want to upgrade your profile and all those things. And if I come here to withdrawal, which is actually one of the most important things, if I come here to withdraw, you're gonna see that if I scroll down, what I talked about, you can see the payment method. We have PayPal. You can see usually 4 business days. This is faster than other payment methods. So if you have PayPal, PayPal is working in your country, then feel free, you can use PayPal. You can just drop your PayPal email here And then you can see the minimum amount is $50 before you can actually withdraw. And then we have wise transfer over here as well. This is up to 5 days, 5 business days. Same thing here, global, and then minimum is about $50 before you can withdraw. And then the final one, which is actually amazing. I really love the fact that they have bank transfer as well, especially if you're in countries that don't, help with PayPal or Wise, then you can go ahead with bank transfer. But then the downside is the fact that you need to wait up to 7 business days before you actually get your money. It all depends, up to, right? And then the minimum, same thing, $50. And before you can actually start, selecting all these things and all, you need to be confirmed. They need to review. You can see over here, minimum withdrawal $50. Yeah. So they need to review, and once you've been approved, you can start. Once clients come to the platform, they search for that interest and they see your profile and they're interested in what you set, then they can actually start calling you and you guys can get started. And then do not forget, most of the time try to be online, almost every time, not every time, but at least try to be online, especially if you're struggling or just starting to get your first client, because it's the more you're online after you get approved, the more online you are, the higher the probability of you even getting your client. It's also a factor, right? It's also a factor. So if I scroll down here again, you can see this is more of security. This is switching to color, someone that actually needs a friend. And then this is your public link in case you want to, get a link to share with your friends, let them come and chat with you over here. Or you're really good in something, people know you for something, or you have a community and you want to get paid for chatting with people privately or whatever it might be. You can use Rent a Cyber Friend as a means as well. Just come here to public link. Once you come here to public link, then you would be able to copy your link right after you've been approved. You can see it over here. Copy your link, you can share with people, and then once they click on it, they're being brought to your Rent a Cyber Friend account, and they can rent you and talk about whatever you want to talk about. And this is basically how Rent a Cyber Friend works. It's actually an amazing platform. I know a whole lot of people using this platform. I have friends, about 2 friends, 2 to 3 friends, using Rent a Cyber Friend already. I met them through TikTok and all these things. But then this is something you can also do, especially if you want to get paid for chatting people. So I want to believe you'll learn a whole lot in this video. If you haven't subscribed, you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe, drop a like on the video, and also share this video with your friends and family members. And do not forget to also drop down comments if you have questions, inquiries, whatever you might have that you want to ask me. Feel free to drop it down. I'm always here to ensure I answer whatever question you have. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in my next highly informative video.